Hi guys, today I wanted to show you how I painted a chalkboard wall in my apartment. As you can see behind me, I turned this standing wall into a chalkboard, and it's really great for writing all your ideas and keeping track of schedules and just kind of some art. I'm not really an artist, but I actually had to try this twice because the first try, the method I used didn't work so well on my wall, so I'm going to explain a little bit about that. I will show you both methods because if you can use the first method on your wall, it's the simpler way. Basically, it's directly onto your wall, and the second way is putting some sheets onto your wall. I live in an apartment, so when I move out eventually, I'm gonna have to return this wall back to white and back to the same texture, and that's partly why the first method didn't work. Basically, the first method, you sand, prime, and paint the wall itself, but because my wall is bumpy, I didn't want to risk sanding it too much and not being able to return it to the same texture. So the second method is putting masonite sheets on and painting over that. I'll show you both methods. First, you want to sand the wall. To be honest, this didn't work well for me. That's why I didn't end up going this method, but you'll sand it well and then wipe it down if this is what you're going to do. And then you want to tape down anything that you don't want painted over. Ideally, you should probably take out your outlets and turn off the electricity, but I didn't want to mess with all that, so I just taped over them. Just make sure that if you do go this route, you tape over everything very securely so that you don't get paint where it should not be. Next, I primed the wall. It's hard to see because obviously my wall is white, but I'm putting primer on here. Now for the chalkboard paint, I just got this from Home Depot. Make sure to stir it. Next, I did the trim. I basically just painted the chalkboard paint around the corners where I didn't want paint to get to, and then around the edges. Next, I applied the coat. I did a total of 3 coats altogether, letting them dry in between. Next, I removed the tape. This was pretty satisfying to do. And then just because I was pretty messy, I had to go in and spot clean. And finally, the fun part, you season the chalkboard by using the side of the chalk and drawing on it and then wiping it down. And there you have it, the finished product. Now, as you can see, the wall is pretty bumpy, so I ended up redoing it. I'll show you how I did that. Okay, so full disclosure here, I had a friend help me with a lot of this second go around. So here we are cutting the masonite sheet down to size. Next, we had to cut out a hole for the outlet. Well, as you can see, it's mostly my friend handling the power tools because they are his tools. Step 3, we drilled the screw holes. Well, he drilled the screw holes. Now we're hanging the masonite sheets. I felt a little useless, so I sat down. Oh, here I'm being helpful. Now the rest of this is pretty much the same as the previous method if you went directly on the wall, so I'm putting the primer on. And now it's time for the chalkboard paint. This time I only did 2 coats because the surface was way more smooth and it just took it a lot better. Now it's time to season the chalkboard, and then you gotta wipe it down after. There we go. And now for the reveal. Ta-da!